Hey there YouTube fans, AC Productions here, and today I'm going to be showing you on how to install this Graves Motorsports Fender Eliminator. So we're going to get rid of the tail that's going on over here. Now you're probably asking me and probably going to leave me 1,000 comments on why are you showing this. We already seen thousands of videos of people doing these Fender Eliminators for other Gsxrs, so why should I watch yours? Well, that is true. There is hundreds of videos out there showing you how to, the whole process of how to remove this, but the one advantage is that I want to make my channel the one and only channel to go to for your Gsxr needs, as I'll be installing other things on the bike and showing you guys. And if you notice with those other channels, they may just show you one thing. After that, it's a whole different subject. For this channel, obviously I do have the R3 and I've showed you everything I've done on the R3, and same thing since now that I got the Gsxr, I'll be showing you everything I'll be doing on the Gsxr as I buy the parts. All right, so let's get started. Let me show you everything you need to do to remove your back end tail. Now before we get started, I just wanted to show you what's inside the box. And the reason I decided to choose this one is that I didn't want anything too fancy. All these other ones were a lot higher priced. This one was around the 100 something mark, and I just needed something that was just going to clean up the tail area and still allow me to put those different type of turn signals, which this is what this bracket's for. Something very basic but functional. All right, so let's go ahead and get this thing installed. You're going to need your key to access the back seat. Then you're going to need a 4mm Allen key with some type of handle, or you can use an L-shaped Allen key. You're also going to need a 5mm Allen key as well. All right, so for now we're just going to put the key off to the side, so we do need to get access to removing the seat. To do so, we're going to have to remove this little panel right here, and that's going to be your 4mm Allen key. I'm going to go ahead and remove it. I'll just do it real quick since it's only one little screw actually holding this whole entire piece. Then you can go ahead and either put this in a little Ziploc bag or put it in your pocket. Once you do that, next what you need to do is pop that sucker off. All right, so there is a little piece over here. It's just being held on by a rubber grommet, so just be careful. Just keep your finger on the other side. You're gonna feel for this little pointy thing, which is right here. So put your finger, and this will help you push it out. So as you're pushing it, pull it from this side, and that'll kind of release it. There, it's already released. Then you got this side over here. There's just a little clip over here that's holding that part in, but let's just pop this part out, and you want to get this off of the seat. Kind of do this all very carefully, because you definitely don't want to start breaking plastic pieces, because they'll tend to be very expensive, especially for these bikes. So just kind of wiggle it up and just kind of feel around for it and try to get this part out. I think there's another rubber grommet peg or something over here. There we go, and there's two, and there's that. It sounded like it broke, but it didn't. So here's the little piece I was telling you about right here. You can see that right there. And then here's the other rubber grommet right here, and rubber grommet right here. So if you look at the other side, right there, and kind of right there. So these little two sticks actually go inside there. All right, so now that we got this other part, oh, I didn't even notice that there was a Velcro piece right here. Velcro here, Velcro here. Good to know. All right, so now that we got this piece out of the way, we're gonna go ahead and put it off to the side. And then next what we need to do is get our 5mm Allen key and take out the screw that is located right here. Now here's the screw that I'm talking about. It is located right there. That silver one. So there's going to be one on both sides. So make sure that whatever I'm showing you on one side of the bike is going to be the exact same thing on the other side. That's always been my method and motto of when I'm showing you guys these videos. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and remove that screw on both sides, and then we could go ahead and remove the seat. All right, now that you got all the screws already removed, you could go ahead and remove your seat. Just lift up from here and lift it out like this. Then just go ahead and put it on top of your tank, making sure that the cushion part's down. You don't want to put it the other way because you'll scratch your tank. Okay, after that, we're going to go ahead and we're going to grab our key and remove your passenger side seats, lift it up and pull it out, and then you can just put it off to the side as well. All right, now then just go ahead and remove your key. All right, so next we're going to have to remove some more bolts. So the bolts that you need to remove, let's go mobile so I can show you. All right, so there's going to be a screw right over here you got to remove. So that's going to be your 4mm. Those, this one on this side, and same thing on the other side. After that, you're gonna have to remove these little clips, and there's a tool for that, which I found very helpful, which is this little guy right here. You could get it at any automotive parts store. It's pretty much called removal tools, and it comes in a box, I think, of 5 or 8 pieces. Mainly, this is the best tool out of all of them because of this piece right here. So you use that tool to remove these two little clips here. After that, you gotta remove the screw here on this side, same thing on this side, and then these two bolts, this one here and then this one here. Let me go ahead and remove all that, and then I'll show you what to do next. Okay, now that we got all of those screws and everything over here up to this top part are removed. Next we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and remove these little clips that are down here. Now there is 4 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4. So let's go ahead and remove those as well with the plastic pry tool. Alright, now that you got all 4 of those little clips removed, we'll go ahead and pop this guy out. Now there is going to be a peg here with the rubber grommet like we did with this panel here. Just go ahead and pop those guys out carefully. Let's go ahead and try to loosen this out. And what you're going to do is you're going to start loosening them out, and then you're going to pull back on it to pretty much get this whole plastic piece off. So let's see how hard it's going to be to do that. Let's see if we wiggle it out. There we go. Okay, and then you want to make sure that this part stays behind because this is the part where you have your key for your rear seat. So just make sure that you put this out. Alright, right there like this and like so, because that one stays behind. Alright, so let's go ahead and wiggle this piece out. And there you go. Comes out just like that. Not too bad. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and put this off to the side. Alright, so now we are left with the exposed tail end. So the next thing that we need to do now is we have to remove 4 bolts. Now they're going to be located right underneath. There's one here, and same thing on the other side, one there and one on the top. That's going to be with a 10mm socket. So let's go ahead and remove that. Okay, now that we got all 4 bolts removed, now it's going to come down. Now it's not going to come down all the way because there is a screw right in there that's preventing everything from actually coming apart. So as you can see, there's that shiny screw right there. It's going to be with a Phillips screwdriver. So go ahead, get your screwdriver in there, and if you notice, it's going to be a little bit of a tight fit to actually get in there. So that's why I'm using this tool, which is going to help. Very low profile, and this is what I'll be using to actually get that screw out. Besides having that screw, you want to make sure you have enough slack to actually get to it because it is a tight fit. So to do that, we're going to have to disconnect our turn signals. To disconnect the turn signals, so it's this little gray connector and this little black connector to disconnect it. Besides that, you want to see if you could get a little bit, well, it's actually pretty loose. I was going to say to loosen up this zip tie by pushing this little clip over here on this side. Or actually lifting it. When you lift up the little tab on this other end, here, I'll show you. Let me just take it out and I can show you better. But let's see. Alright guys, I'm having trouble with the focusing on my camera and I don't know why. Alright, so if you see that little tiny tab right here, if you lift it up, so let me go ahead and zip it back in. So that's a good thing about these, oh sorry, let me put it back in there. So that's a good thing about, I'm going to put it right here to have the cement background so you can see a little bit better. But there's a little tab here, and that's a good thing about these adjustable ones, that you just lift up on the little tab and you're able to undo it or make it loose or make it more loose. So if it's too tight, you need to loosen it up a little bit, lift up the little cable and it comes out. Alright, so that's enough about that. Let me go ahead and put this little guy back in before I lose it. So we just wanted it loose enough so we're able to get these cables out. Now to get these cables out, you just gotta press on this little back end of the tab. Once you press it in, let's see, or actually lift it up. Oh, you lift it up, never mind. So lift it up a little bit, don't go too crazy because you could actually break it and that won't be good. So just go ahead and lift it up just a little bit and then you're able to pull out the tab or the connector. There we go. So now they're out. Pull it out from the other end and you're done with this part. Let's see what else. We also got our, oh yeah, I almost forgot, we also have our license plate light, which is this cable right here. So, and it's connected with a bunch of tape, not sure why. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and disconnect this particular one, and I believe we're gonna need something very small to put into this little tiny hole here to press in on the tab, pull it out. So let me go ahead and find something to stick in there and pull it out. You guys do the same. All right, so now we got that cable already loose, so I'm just gonna go ahead and pull that out. Alrighty, and now this cable is part of your tail light, so we're not gonna do nothing with that. We're just gonna leave that there. All right, so that's gonna give us a little bit more leeway on actually pushing this down a little bit more so we could actually get access to that screw and removing it. All right, so now we got that little guy out of there. Now next we're gonna go ahead is remove it. All right, so there we go, remove it. Get all the cables to come out through the other end, through there, there's a little hole there. And there we go. That's how we pretty much remove the whole end of this, what they call whale tail. Pretty funny name for it. All right, so now we got this out of the way. So now next we're gonna do is we're gonna grab our new Fender Eliminator and start putting that together. So let me show you how to do that. Okay, I got my bracket here. So here is the bracket, and we're gonna install each piece individually because it seems like if I were to put the bracket together now, it might be a little bit hard to actually get it on here. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm gonna put the bracket, it goes in this way. So like this, that way, and we're gonna use the factory bolts to put this bracket in place. So let's go ahead and do that now and do that for both sides. Also now would be a good time to get a little bit of blue thread lock, a little bit on the bolts here, a little bit of fresh stuff, even though there is some from the factory. All right, now that I got the bolts already tightly secured, as you could see, or maybe not, kind of a little bit in the dark view, I guess. But pretty much here it is on this side and on this side. So after you get that part done, next you're gonna install this bracket. Now, and then there's also this bracket, but I'll show you that in a second. All right, so we got this bracket, and now you wanna make sure that you install it with this piece hanging down, as this is the part where the turn signals go. In the kit, it also comes with these screws, nuts, and bolts. So let's go ahead and attach them. You don't have to put any thread lock on these, as these have the threaded or the nylon end of it. So just go ahead and put your screw in there and put your screw in over here. Okay, once you get that in, like I said, it already has the nylon end of it, so it pretty much keeps it from vibrating off. So I'm just gonna go ahead and put in the screw. Let's see, there we go. All right, and then same thing with the other side. All right, so now that's one way of doing it. Now the other way is to put this bracket. Now this bracket is to hold the little license plate light, which I'm gonna do. So I was just showing you one way. If you're not planning to put a license plate light, then you're pretty much all set to go. You could, you know, put your license on there and, you know, put the screws in it and you're all set to go. For me, I'm gonna put this on there. So I'm gonna go ahead and put it on like this, and I'm gonna stick the thing. So let me go ahead and do all that. Let me get my plate on there so I could do everything in one shot and show you guys. All right, I already got everything on there. And no, this video is not being sponsored by Suzuki of Kiro Stream. This is just a blank plate cover that came with my bike, and this is pretty much where I bought my bike. Well, if you happen to be in the neighborhood, you could go there. As for Tim, he's the one that helped me out, and he'll help you out as well. Getting back to the install now. After we put our plate and everything, we tighten down the bolts. It comes with this small little LED. Now to stick this, you just peel it, clean it over here, peel it, and stick it back there, and they'll give you a nice little low profile LED to shine on your light. If you don't care for this, you can go ahead and just put it off to the side. So at this point, you're pretty much all set and done. So next we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and put everything back in its place. So let's go ahead and get our rear. Oh, well, before that, I have to show you on how to actually install the little license plate light. So let's go over there now. All right, so there are two ways to attach to your license plate light. Now, obviously this one right here is for our license plate light right here. So you could either use your factory connector that came with your bike and just go ahead and snip it, and then, you know, connect to the wires right here from the aftermarket license plate light. So then you would splice it here and then just tie the wires together and then stick it back in there, you know, plugging it in. That's one way. But if you don't feel comfortable with snipping and soldering wires, you could do a different way. You could use these little posi taps, and you still got a strip over here, but instead of connecting through here, you just got to go through the back end of it. So you would unscrew this over here on this side, and you would, you know, strip just a little bit, just enough at the edge over here, and then you stick it in through here, put it through here, and then screw everything back on. So let me go ahead and screw that real quick. All right, once it's on, you just give it a little tug, make sure it's on there securely. After that, you would unscrew the silver part and get to the back end of the license plate light, put it the cable in like so, and once you get it on there, and it's a little bit tight right now, then pretty much you just screw it in and you're able to get a connection that way. I'm not going to do it that way because I'm going to go ahead and snip the cable off of the other one and plug it in that way. So those are the two options that I wanted to show you guys on how to connect for the license plate light. You pick the one that you want to do. All right, so now I already got my cable, and I went with using the OEM connector because I like to try to keep everything as OEM as possible. And how I did, I just pretty much, you know, obviously soldered the cables and everything, put the heat shrink tubing through it, and I put the cable in through the bottom of the fender, or the remaining part of the fender, and have it routed through there and come out through here. So we're going to be left with a little bit of excess wire, but that is okay. So now we're going to go ahead and plug this little guy right back into its spot. It only goes in one way. Okay, I guess I had it the wrong way, but there we go. It only goes in that way, because if you try to do it the other way, it won't work. So push it until you hear the click. All right, we got it clicked in. So now we got all this excess wire. So what we're going to do is we are going to grab our little usable zip tie here, push it out through there, get all our cabling, put it over through our zip tie. That's being a little complicated here. All right, put it through here and just kind of cinch it down. All this extra access, I'm going to use additional zip ties and tidy everything up, and then tuck everything underneath in this little pocket area. So you guys do the same. All right, as you can see, I have all my cables already cinched down with the additional cables or zip ties, and I'm just going to go ahead and kind of just tuck these little guys right in there, making sure everything is nice and tidy for sure. Okay, everything is looking good. Probably tighten this one a little bit more, and there we go. All right, so that's pretty much it for doing the wiring of this part. So now let's go ahead and get our whole cover back on here. So when you put it in, just stretch it out a little bit and slide it in. Our main seat back on and our passenger seat back on. Let's go ahead and put the passenger seat in, as that's the super easiest, not like the other one is in the harder. Get that in there right there. Get our seat. Obviously we got these clips right here. They're gonna go into the loops right there. All right. All right, slide that in. All right, now let's go ahead and put our bolts on each side. There we go. Now I'm focused a lot better. All right, after getting the seat in, go ahead and put your bolts on each side. One here on this side and one there on the other side. After that, we're gonna put our little plastic piece on and make sure that you loop it, or get it onto the piece over here, as my camera gets crazy. Put that piece in there, be careful, and Velcro the piece that goes over here. And then there's a rubber grommet that goes right here on this side, right here by my finger. So just kind of slide everything in place and then put the screw in, which goes right over here. Alrighty guys, that pretty much is going to conclude the video. Hopefully you found this one very helpful on how to install this pretty much tail tidy or fender eliminator to get rid of that big fender that sticks out from the back. As you can see, I already have everything else connected on the bike. So again, if you know anyone else that's looking to do something like this on Fender Gsxr, please share my videos. Give me a thumbs up if you liked it. If not, give me a thumbs down. Let me know in the comments below what you disliked about the videos to help me improve for future ones. If you guys haven't yet subscribed, don't forget to subscribe. Hit that notification bell. That way you guys are up to date with my latest uploads. And I'll catch you guys on the next one. Take care, guys.